right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we are, game number 2 now of this 2-game series. DC up 1-0 over Team Onyx after a pretty decisive victory is a safe way to put it. Ultimately a 17-minute victory, although to be frank, it felt like it could have even been in sooner. But in the end, DC taking care of business. We'll see how Team Onyx responds. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Minnie once again as my co-caster. Minnie, I mean, you have hope that Team Onyx is going to be able to put up a better fight here?
Yeah, definitely. I think that game didn't really show the strength of Team Onyx and didn't show what they could really do. I think it was just the SD less strike just didn't come together, and when that happens, then game's going to be tough, going to be hard. But with a different draft, obviously just a different mentality. Obviously in this game, DC have first pick, so the draft is always going to be different because of that. As the other team, DC ban out Omni and Jug, and Team Onyx says we don't even want to play SD, so we're going to get rid of it. You're not going to have it, and we're not going to play it either. So, but there's still a lot of good heroes left on the board. What DC can still first pick: Underlord, Ember Spirit, Slardar. Those are probably my top 3 that I'm looking at. Whether Team Onyx are going to ban one of those 3, perhaps.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised here to see any of those.
I think what most teams are now doing is that they say there's say 4 really high value targets or 4 really high impactful heroes. You want to either be able to take 2 of those so the enemy gets 2, so you kind of get some kind of trade out of it. Obviously, if you'll say there's only like 3 high value targets and you're only getting 1, they're getting 2, then there's obviously a clear discrepancy in the draft. So it depends on what Team Onyx really kind of value themselves as, something they do not want to give away to DC.
Well, we'll see. They really thinking about the second ban. That's a lot of reserve time being used.
Yeah, I think that it kind of shows a lot as well. It kind of shows a little bit of a weakness in a draft. That you lost that game. You kind of know what you're going to go into in terms of you're going to be on this side. Obviously, you're going to have second pick. You should kind of know what bans you're going against. Obviously, you don't know what DC are going to ban, so there is some sort of time to think about it. But for the most part, you're wasting 1 minute just in your reserve time. I think shows a little bit of weakness really from captaincy. But they ban out Cottle, so. A hero that was played obviously last game, but Ember Spirit is one of the heroes I mentioned, and snap pick from DC, no hesitation.
Yeah, they'll gladly take that. I do got some. I'm a stats kind of guy. I always like to go to the numbers here, and DC has ran Ember Spirit 3 times in this last month, and they're 3-0 with the hero. So I think a lot of teams are successful with this hero as well, obviously for good reason. Slaughter Lifestealer though, that's a great combination for Team Onyx.
It's a great one to kind of pick up. Really good against Ember Spirit, especially because Slaughter has the amp damage, which is something that Ember Spirit really kind of struggles with. Because although he's an agility hero, he has a very low kind of agility game, and thus as a result has a low base armor throughout the game. Obviously, he's a good ganking partner with the Lifestealer as well, so can easily blow up the Ember Spirit if he's out of position. So a decent 1-2 pick actually, and something that I definitely think is a lot stronger than they had in game 1. It's a solid opening. Starter can be played as position 4 or offlane depending on how the draft goes. So yeah, decent opening from Team Onyx, and gonna see what DC are gonna follow up here.
They like to respond. You got Rubik is a popular hero for them, so I'll just say that right off the bat. Pudge?
Yeah, I've seen DC do this twice actually. I think the last time they did it was actually ESL1 Genting, where the other team actually had this Slardar Lifestealer combination, and it's kind of strange because Pudge is one of those heroes that you'd think Lifestealer is actually very good against. Obviously, it's a lot of high base HP and low armor, something that Lifestealer loves, obviously, because the Feast can take sort of a lot of work out of it. But from what it looks like, and what I think the reasoning here from Misery is that, which obviously Misery is going to play, is that obviously Pudge is actually quite decent against Lifestealer because obviously the Dismember, BKB piercing, but also the hook, which you can kind of take other teams out of complete surprise really. So we're going to see how it's going to work here. Obviously there's a lot of the pull mechanics that they can abuse as well, but I think particularly actually they like Pudge against Lifestealer, which is kind of counterintuitive and kind of paradoxical, but we'll see how it plays out here.
Yeah, another hero that kind of was coming to mind, the similar idea, although much less popular, Bane actually. With the lockdown, could be considered pretty powerful against the likes of something like a Lifestealer, but not too popular of a hero though.
I think the real X factor though is the pull mechanic that Pudge kind of offers. Obviously, you can pull from the off lane, you can pull even into the mid lane as well as Pudge being on the dire side actually. And I think the dire side is the biggest factor that can really kind of cause a lot of havoc in the lane. Like I think the biggest weakness of Pudge normally is as it's always been is his laning phase. But if you can get a quick level 2, like pre-minute 2, by sort of pulling with the hook and get your rot, then that's when you become kind of a threat. Level 1 Pudge is not very a threat, but with a hook and rot, that's when you can kind of become dangerous.
Especially
and the pulling mechanic gives it. So.
Magnus banned by Onyx. I think that's understandable, as Meander is again pretty hot in the air lately.
I think there's one caveat you mentioned. Like obviously, you think Ember Spirit and Magnus is a really good combination because obviously you can take a lot of damage with the cleave and the sleight of fist. But with Ember Spirit now being played as kind of a magical burst, Magnus and Ember Spirit don't have a lot of synergy actually. So I guess he was played last game, but I think you can kind of already tell that this game is going to be quite different. So I don't think Magnus would have been picked up by DC, but I guess we'll never know. No, that's been banned out.
I apologize, guys. The overlay was wrong right there, so I just swapped it just to clarify. Yep, DC on the top here. I know, overlay issues. Onyx on the bottom, and they're going to go with Skyrath Mage. All right, I like some silence here.
Yeah, it's
magic
obviously
burst.
really good against the Ember Spirit. Obviously, the silence is kind of Ember's worst nightmare, kind of alongside the Puck because of obviously a lot of high mobility, and even good against the Pudge here as well because obviously instant cancel against the Dismember. But this kind of tends to make me believe that this Slider is going to be played as a position 4, because one weakness of Slider as a support is that his early game is kind of weak. The stun is kind of measly in terms of damage and kind of struggles to sort of help in the laning phase. But with Skyrath, who has a great early laning phase. Because obviously his kind of burst damage with Arcane Bolt allows kind of sort of cover the weaknesses of Slider in the lane phase. So yeah, I like the Skyrath pick here, and good against both both the heroes from DC already. So solid pick from Onyx.
Yeah, we saw Skyrath last night actually. I want to say Team Freedom maybe even picked it up and ran it, and I think also against an Ember Spirit, sure enough. So the silence, yeah, very powerful lockdown tool against a hero that really relies on that mobility of the Remnant use. So. A lot of potential to be pretty strong against him.
Definitely looks like an American hero, really. Like, look at him. He's just like he looks like he's just very honourable, loves liberty, just land of the free.
Very American, yes.
It does, man. If there's like honestly, all the American teams seem to love Skyrath Mage. Like you're right. Like we saw it like the other day. It just maybe it's something that the North Americans just appeal to the Skyrath Mage. And
each region has their flavor heroes. That's for sure. Winter Wyvern, okay.
It's a really solid pick, and it's one kind of somewhat quote-unquote counter against the Slider Lifestealer because although it doesn't have a lot of armor, obviously the physical immunity from the Cold Embrace is the kind of very much needed save to deal with the Slider Life Bombs. Not only that, but the Witness Curse obviously is really good if a lot of teams are sort of grouping up with the Slider Lifestealer combination. You can get a decent Witness Curse off. So already I like kind of both teams' drafts here actually. And I don't think this is going to be as much of a stomp as it was in the first game. Just sort of seeing it is. But one thing to note though as well is the kind of an interesting kind of interaction. Obviously with Winter Wyvern, obviously you got playing against a Skyrath Mage, so it's a very easy Mystic Flare target. So if someone is low and you try to save them with Cold Embrace, Skyrath Mage can finish them off with the Mystic Flare. So
turn to pick.
Watch out for that in this game for sure.
Yeah, Mystic Flare, pretty insane ability. The idea, he's obviously when it comes to a support role, he's one of the most potential damage dealers out of the all support heroes. Leshrac maybe another hero that comes to mind, but Skyrath has a lot of burst, a lot of sustain even throughout those fights. So Shadow Fiend, the 4th pick here, coming out for Team Onyx. So they got their mid option now.
Yeah, it's a really sort of solid kind of head-on-head matchup against Ember Spirit as well. As long as he doesn't sort of feed in the first early levels, Shadow Fiend's going to box out Ember Spirit quite a lot. So what we might see is that this Pudge is going to sit mid and try and help Ember Spirit, not necessarily by boxing out the SF, but more just from the pool. So it allows Ember Spirit to kind of have a better kind of a laning phase because the Necromastery stacks from SF cannot be sort of picked up if Pudge is pulling the creeps obviously to the neutrals. So that's probably what I expect because otherwise I think SF is going to really dominate Ember Spirit 1v1, but Lone Droid,
Radiant team
good old
banned.
sniper.
Good old Sniper 2.0 right here. Resolution probably going to get his hands on it here as that short lane, and yeah, it's Team Onyx. I mean, does Onyx have a good team? I mean, is there a good counter team against a Lone Droid?
They kind of already have it though. Slaughter is actually quite good against Lone Droid, kind of for 2 reasons. Because of the Amplify damage is actually pretty good. Because most of the time, obviously, Lone Droid is in his kind of regular form, you can get bursted down quite easily by the Slider Lifestealer. And not only that, but you can amp the bear, and because the bear never has any items, you can kind of kill it very, very quickly, particularly with high damage cores of SF. But obviously, it's still Lone Droid is still a great hero, and kind of particularly against Lifestealer, because obviously the root can go through obviously the rage. So I mean, they have ways to deal with Lone Droid, but with their last pick most likely going to be an off lane, it's definitely hard. You want kind of gap closes to deal with like Lone Droid. You kind of try and view him just the way you'd view a sniper. You know, heroes that can kind of gap close. The one problem is that Lone Droid has his bear to kind of be a kind of front bodyguard, so to speak, and obviously with the fear ability as well, has even more ways to sort of get away from you. But yeah, you want kind of gap closes. And with an offlane hero and hero still on the board, I'm struggling to think what Onyx want as their offlane to deal with something like a Lone Droid.
5 seconds remaining.
Bat Rider, maybe? I mean, Bat Rider's not bad.
Bat Rider is definitely good, actually. I think that's a good shout. He deals well against Lone Droid, not only in the mid game, but in the laning phase as well. They don't have a way to really get rid of the stacks, and you can double stack the bear and both the hero if they're stacked up, or quote unquote stacked up together.
10 seconds remaining.
So yeah, I like the Bat Rider pick, actually. I think it's also a good hero against Ember Spirit as well. Yeah, I'm down for a Bat Rider here for Team Onyx, unless they pick a different hero and they put Slider in the offlane and then put them in a different position 4, but we'll see. Oh, Brood, man.
What?
Radiant
Fifth pick Brood. Now, that makes me believe Onyx are going to have to pick up an Axe.
So they...
Yeah, they need...
Okay.
So yeah, they need a way to deal with the Broodmother. I think, well, Axe definitely is better than Broodmother, but doesn't really fit especially well with their draft. So they pick up Underlord instead. They're going to want that Underlord.
To clarify.
Oh, Axe was banned, that would be why, sorry. Who banned it?
They banned it. Onyx banned it, actually.
Oh, themselves. Oh,
yeah.
Right. That's probably why DC picked it up. I was going to say Axe would have been perfect pick, but anyway. But yeah, the Underlord is kind of like the second best, really, I guess, in that respect. But they want that matchup because obviously you can have the Underlord's Q that can kill the Spiderlings, but still doesn't kill it that quickly. So yeah, this Broodmother pick is definitely kind of thrown a spanner in the works for Team Onyx.
Broodmother, man. This is going to be the first game I get to cast, at least, with the Broodmother in it. That's going to be maybe fun, or I don't know.
It's definitely not fun, man.
The whole
this hero is...
She plays her own game kind of deal.
Yeah, very much so. And normally, I think Onyx have done alright here, but normally, like, if you get like a 5th pick Brood, and it's uncounterable, like you can kind of see a very early game stomp, as we saw in the last game. But I think Onyx have an alright. I mean, it's not great. I think the Brood pick is definitely going to give DC a good advantage. I think definitely I think Onyx had like a quote unquote kind of even draft DC, but until that Broodmother pick, it kind of threw a bit of a spanner. But we'll still see. There's still a lot of games to be played, obviously.
Well, it seems like the DC is also a pretty split-heavy, kind of greedy lineup. You know, all their cores are just very we're gonna do our own thing kind of deal, while the others group up maybe. So I'm curious how that works for DC. Is that going to be to their advantage, or will they get kind of picked off one by one? So.
I mean, Onyx do have some great pick-off heroes, particularly with like the Slider Lifesteal, obviously, but with Skywrath as well, they have a lot of ways to kill. I think this Pudge, especially from DC, Misery's Pudge, is going to have to do a lot of work in the early game to kind of create a lot of a space. Because otherwise, I think Onyx can definitely run over DC. But we'll see. I think the biggest X factor, though, is this Broodmother. How Onyx are going to lane is going to be very important. It looks like Underlord is running towards bot, so it's going to be 1v1 most likely, and they're going to run an aggressive tri-lane top. But against a Lone Droid, it's always hard to kind of run aggressive tri-lane because you have obviously the bear, and obviously you can kind of play quite defensive, obviously with the Savage Roar. So DC definitely kind of coming ahead out in this laning phase, but we'll see how much this Skywrath and Slider combination can do. Hopefully more than the SD and Leshrac did in last game. But
well,
we'll see.
What are the, so Underlord is going bottom? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha.
You don't want to face. You don't want to put a tri-lane against a Broodmother. You're going to be doing nothing to the Broodmother while he's sort of sapping experience 1v3.
He's just too difficult to chase with the webs.
Yeah, it's just really hard. Like, you have to commit a lot of sentries and dust, and even then it's kind of hard to kill the Broodmother because you can kind of play around fog, play around the trees and stuff. So yeah, it's easier to deal with it 1v1 and try and do good elsewhere in the lanes. But I think Broodmother should be fine 1v1 against Underlord. He shouldn't lose a lot of his Spiderlings because obviously, although the Firestorm from Underlord is good against good with AoE, but Moon Meander isn't going to be a bad player and give away a lot of Spiderling kills over to the Underlord.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions here.
Hey, here's Moon Meander.
Shots fired.
Trash on trash.
sure he's going to do fine at that bottom lane. Top lane, though, it looks like Slaughter is going to assist as well. So we do have the try versus try lane. Always fun to see. Misery doesn't have an ability just yet. It might get Rot here as he's kind of running up. Yeah, he does get the Rot. Gonna run on top of Demon. Misery needs to be careful himself, though, and actually taking some good damage. Somebody's going to die right here. Who's it going to be first? It will be Misery now. Demon just runs. All right, that was a little ambitious there, it feels like, from Pudge.
Yeah, we talked about how Pudge is kind of weak in the main phase pre-level 2, and we saw it there. Like Rot is a great spell when you're sort of a tri-lane versus a solo off-laner, but when you're against another tri-lane themselves, you take a lot of damage, obviously, from the Rot yourself. So it's something that Misery should have definitely been wary of. But good start from Team Onyx.
1-0 here, minute and a half into the game. Obviously, much better start even than the first game, that's for sure. Again, a really just a stomp from DC. So Onyx at least trying to make this one a lot closer, if not even pull out with a victory. So it almost kind of erased the first game in a lot of ways. So Soxa, though, sitting off to the side. The 2-minute bounty rune not coming just yet. So just simply trying to zone him out for the time being. You look at all the webs down at the bottom lane, meanwhile, that Love Yourselves have to deal with.
So much damage. Underlord's doing a lot better than I expected, actually. I definitely underestimate the Atrophic Aura to have such a big impact onto this moon. Wait. Getting very, very low. Oh,
should be fine, yeah. He knows his limits. He'd figure, and obviously Underlord not necessarily going to be one that deals a lot of burst damage.
Regeneration.
Yeah, Underlord's going to be fine in this lane. There's so much damage with that Atrophic Aura, and obviously with Hatchet as well, there's nothing that Moon can really do to sort of stop him farming, and I don't think he can kind of threaten a kill off the Underlord either, because Moon's actually not going to be going the spawn Spiderlings build, which is something you normally see against an Axe, but against an Underlord, I don't know whether Spiderlings would have been the build or not, but something that I'm not too familiar with, but clearly I expect Rose to know what he's doing.
Yeah. Keep an eye to see how he does. Port coming out, it looks like. Okay, actually Skywrath pointing back to base right here. So going to use that Shrine and heal back up and get that mana back up. So perhaps going to move elsewhere, also getting some items delivered in the meantime. But now headed back towards the middle end, it seems like. We do got the Shadow Fiend versus the Ember Spirit. Shadow Fiend 14-1, Ember Spirit 12-0 so far, as far as the early game goes. You got Pudge somewhat nearby, level 2 of course, but he's going to rotate all the way to the bottom. Unfortunately, he's going to be seen though. We talked about that Observer Ward already being placed, so not going to be getting too much, unless, I guess if he just plants a jungle though. Like we find, unless he rotates back to the middle lane.
He was so close to dying there actually. One hit away from death, but is able to get away.
Yeah, Misery just charging in too. Cannot make a play though.
Might look for a hook, but
yeah, Shadow Fiend obviously pretty vulnerable. If he gets a hook on him, that Rod on top, I mean, Shadow Fiend can have a tough time. He's getting away, so let's see if they go for that or not. Meanwhile, top lane Soxa, Arcane Bolt, just simply going to walk it off though. He has that Arctic Burn if need be to help him get away. But he's going to be fine. So, yeah, middle lane matchup, though. It seems like it's a slight advantage for Shadow Fiend, but pretty close overall. Is that what you would expect?
yeah, definitely. I think Shadow Fiend is going to take more of an advantage sooner rather than later, because of the Necro Mastery stacks are going to come up. But Pudge is nearby, actually. They're looking for the kill on the Shadow Fiend here.
There's the easy hook. Yeah, the root to start it off. He's going to throw out some raises, says, you're coming with me. That's not going to happen. He goes down.
Yeah, definitely nice synergy there, and that early kill is really important to get onto the Shadow Fiend, because like I said, I think if Shadow Fiend starts building up this Necromastery stacks, it's going to be hard for Ember to really last hit in this lane, and that kill is definitely going to help him out a lot. So nice rotation from Pudge.
Big start, and you see Shadow Fiend pointing back to the middle lane immediately, trying to get some harassment onto the Ember Spear, but missing, at least just getting some last hits in there. So yeah, good news though for DC. Taking out the Shadow Fiend there. Top lane Resolution, I assume he's doing pretty well. Yeah, but he's 22-6 up here. Understandably doing pretty damn well. He also has that support nearby of Soxa, playing the Winter Wyvern, so of course that's helping.
This reason got 2 points in Rot. I can only assume that is a misclick though, because I don't think you'd level Rot over Hook really. The Rot, the movement speed is sort of flat. Level 1 to level 4, so you only increase the damage. Whereas the damage increase from Meat Hook is double. I mean, obviously the Rot is double as well, but I think you have to assume that Hook is better up here with obviously the higher range and the lower cooldown. But we'll see. He's going to be level 4 so anyway, so it's not going to make a difference, but something to note.
Yeah, deciding to go with that instead. You see the Splinter Shot used, or Splinter Blast, excuse me, the middle lane, but not really any follow-up. Again, Misery's sitting in the middle lane. Saw the setup earlier with those searing chains into the hook, but can't really get the angle right now. Still going to roam around and see about making a move. There is no vision currently from Onyx here in their own jungle, so they could fall victim if not careful. Underlord, it seems like he could be the target.
Yeah, this rotation is really important actually because they're losing kind of all 3 lanes, although not by much, but obviously the top 3 farmers right now in terms of last hits is all the cause here from Team Onyx, but it looks like Bulba knows what's up actually and he's going to play a bit more defensive, and yeah, Pudge and Saxa are going to be spotted from the lane.
Meanwhile, Shadow Fiend taking out a little bit of the jungle right there, gets that bottle delivered. Of course, important to have, and he'll go ahead and bottle up a bounty rune. Or at least he's running to. We'll see Slaughter ninjas at first. Yep. He actually ninja'd it. I love it.
Well, he had like 1 bottle charge there. What? I can't believe he just took that.
Teamwork, guys. Come on.
He wasn't even close to level 4 either. He just took it. Like, what the heck? That's a report actually. That would send. I'm on low priority. I would easily get in low priority for a move like that actually if I was a Slaughter.
Can't blame him. Yeah. All right, so the Spiderlings are out for Moomiander. He's overall doing very well. He's the top on his team right now as far as creep score goes. But you see that Firestorm being used, trying to clear out the Spiderlings the best that he can. He's doing a good job, though, of evading it.
It looks like this court's just kind of trying to find an opening call, but SF is playing defensively, just sort of jungling, so that would be the most easiest skill. They're running for the lone droid, but could not find him. Yeah, this is a really smart play though from Flea. They realise that the Pudge and the Wyvern are looking to try and take an advantage in the lanes, and Flea just plays defensive and starts farming up. They've just smoked, but he's gonna farm the jungle as expected.
Yeah, so a pretty slow start here to this game. Obviously only 1-1 currently, about 7.5 minutes in. But you figure that probably favors DC more than anything. Again, with their lineup, they're pretty evasive, it feels like.
I think, like in the very, very late game, I think for right now, I think Team Onyx are okay with this actually. The reason being is because they're kind of winning their lanes. Like if you look at Lifesteal, he's kind of out farming the Lone Druid a lot. Same goes for the Underlord as well. With just these early kind of the course getting their items, I definitely think it favors Onyx actually. Not only that, but Pudge is one of those heroes that kind of wants to get a lot of early kills. They're going to try and catch the SF here if they can. They can't even have the hook.
The Requiem being channeled. He will get it off in the end. Going for the turn kill on Misery. At least he misses the 1 raise, and that may be the difference. Oh, he actually kills himself with the rod. Flea ends up surviving in the end, but at least Misery denied himself with those skills right there of activating the rod. Now, that can be frustrating sometimes, but it's kind of good for both sides, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. But you're kind of seeing DC are kind of getting very desperate now with their kind of ganks. They want their lanes to sort of do a lot better. And that kind of play there is a little bit greedy from DC, and kind of Pudge got lucky that he denied himself there actually. Scarif might be in trouble.
Yeah, Scarif's in a very curious spot. They're going to go into Mason. Now, Scarif exposing himself. Cold Embrace used on the bear right there. And now Dubu is in that trouble spot. Mason, meanwhile, invests the creep, pops on out. The Spirit Bear still has plenty of life. Not really that worried about it. Soxa still chasing down Dubu off to the side, and Dubu will end up falling on that Skywrath mage. Demon
Sentinel here as well.
Oh, the hook hits right there from Misery, but not enough damage. However, the follow-up, and he ends up going down, and they lose the Spirit Bear. He spawns a new one, of course. But now Soxa on the run. Another raise coming up. He needs 1 more. Cold Embrace will save for the time being. The second raise hits, though, and Flea gets the kill. But at what cost? He's going to go down. The lone druid at least, and it ends up being an exchange right there.
I don't think it was worth, but still a nice rotation from the SF actually. But it does leave Weed to take this mid tower though as a result. So I don't think that SF rotation was worth it. He gets 2 kills, yes, but then dies and then loses mid tower as well. In the meantime, Underlord and this Bruno were having their own little game together.
Yeah.
Actually, they haven't left their lane the whole game and kind of just being themselves. But Saxa is rotating with Ember as well. Bulba needs to get out actually. He might choose the ulti.
Uh-oh. Okay, no. Not going to catch him.
He's got nearly 1,000 HP. I think he might, if they go on him actually, they might be able to get, he might be able to get a Dark Rift off before he dies, but Pudge is here as well. This could be the X Factor to make sure they kill him, the Underlord.
Ooh.
There you go. Yeah, Ember spotted, so yeah, Underlord knows what's up.
That range creep, man.
Oh,
He's like,
okay.
I got this. The hook's going to miss right there, and there goes the Dark Rift, so Love Yourself should be fine. They do not have enough damage to take him out. They're not even going to really try, and he will pull out in time. But this should be a tower push now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Way. With that hand of Midas, by the way, that he now has, so good news there as he's jumping up to the top arm of the game. Middle lane, Silence coming down on Lone Druid. The crush comes out of the follow and the raise to finish him off there. Nice pick on a resolution, so taking advantage of everyone else being at the bottom lane. There's their counter push in. So yeah, that seems like the control early on in favoring Onyx so far.
Yeah, definitely doing alright. We've got like the armlet to be finished from Blyster as well. When that happens, we'll probably see a rotation from him probably jumping into the Slardar. Although he doesn't have Blink, I think they want to get this Lifesteal involved into the game as early as possible. Slardar is quite a way away from his Blink, but obviously when he does get that Blink, that's when Onyx are going to really ramp up their aggression.
So Broodmother, what's his typical build? How do we?
Oh man, there's so many different builds from Brood. Like you can have like the Zaya build where he used to go like Dagon and really kind of control the map. Honestly, he goes like Dagon, but then you've got obviously the more kind of I think the more kind of common build where we sort of Admiral Bulldog used to playing a lot was kind of the Echo Saber and kind of a battle build, particularly obviously with the talent sort of allowing him to have sort of attack speed and agility. We're probably seeing more about a battle build and right click with Echo Saber, and yet Moon has just. Oh, he looks like he's going for Orchid. So yeah, Orchid sort of Echo Saber, that kind of right click build is something that we'll probably see. He just wants to be able to sort of stay in this jungle and really kind of control it. If someone rotates up, then they can just sort of kill him solo, and Orchid does allow him that. But he's deciding actually. He's got Orchid, he's got Vlad's picked up. There's a lot of different things. Honestly, it's hard to say. It depends what Moon wants to do in this game, really. But if he's going to go Vlad's, obviously pressuring the lanes and sort of really pushing and split pushing is the name of the game.
Yeah, he's living at that bottom lane, but Broodmother, feel like he tends to do that with all the web creations and stuff. So we do see a Veil finish on Ember Spear. That's pretty routine stuff going on there. And Dragonlance being picked up a Lone Druid as far as his first item. And he is level 10, by the way, so there we go with that 200 extra attack range on the good old Lone Druid now. So it has begun as far as the talent tree here at Sniper 2.0. Broodmother. Just kind of out throughout the jungle, it's almost as if they want to maybe go for some kind of jump. He is going to go the Ancients, actually. But, oh, actually, is he in trouble? Silence comes out, but he's too fast.
Yeah, this is kind of what Broodmothers do, kind of control the enemy jungle and really try and sort of strangle Team Onyx now. Actually, Ember's going to try and catch the Skyrock most likely. He's still got the haste, actually, and he should be fine. We play very aggressive, but nosing in limits.
Yeah. The haste rune. Sometimes it makes you feel invincible, and we've seen that before where you feel invincible and all of a sudden you get caught by a stun and then you're dead shortly after, but in that case,
yeah, Onyx survives. Onyx really kind of did nothing in that last 2 minutes there, and whilst DC was farming sort of 3 different lanes, mid, top and bot, so kind of looks like DC are slowly out farming him, particularly with the Broodmother as well, able to sort of farm the enemy jungle, and I think they really need to do something about it. I guess they're going to struggle until they get Blink on Slardar to really try and punish this Broodmother, but they definitely do. Like, he's level 13 now, one of the highest in the game actually, so yeah, with them not really kind of controlling him and really sort of shutting him down, Moon is going to have kind of a very good game as he did in the last game as well.
Yeah, the highest in the game right now. Underlord and Shadow Fiend right behind him at 12, but yeah, Broodmother seems like he is excelling quite a bit, and the Hannah Midas also assisting with that. Top lane, they were setting up some sort of gank with that Pudge, but unfortunately for them, Mason as well as Dubu, they fall back. Not going to give them any easy chance. You do see Lifestealer. He has the armlet finish. The Desolator going to be worked on next for him, so seems like he is progressing pretty well. How's Moonmeander doing down here? He's going to steal the bounty rune right in front of Demon. It says, see ya.
And he's forced to TP out. Like, you can tell how scared DCI. She's going to man up on this SF here. There's TP coming in though.
Oh no, run Moon. Run Moonmeander. Raise hits.
They don't even have protection. Like, it's what I mean. They're so non-committal by Moon there. Like, they force out like a Rec Room and the TP as well, and he's absolutely fine. And a Shrine. Exactly. Like, that's so big, honestly, from Moon. Like, and this is just how annoying Broodmother is. Unless you have ways to sort of deal with him, which, as I said, they don't really until they get a Slardar Blink. Ember spotted, actually.
Yeah, he's pretty deep right here. There comes the silence. Now he's in a lot of trouble. Bit of Mal's locking his down as well. But nice Winter's Curse, though, and that will help him get out.
Well played, Saxa.
Yeah. CC'd them. So he's thanking his teammate right there for sure. He puts the remnant down. He's TPing back. He's ready to come back in, though, if anything else happens. But at least he survived. And again, that's DC winning, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. Again, all these kind of rotations and stuff. But although, obviously, they didn't even get any kills or any kind of gold benefit, it was massive.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Man, that ulti from Winterwyvern was so clutch. The Slardar was mid-animation with his crush there. He was able to not get it off, and as a result, Ember survived. But I'm getting whispers that I need to activate my mic in-game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead and do that. I guess my setup wasn't as I thought it was. I've changed some things, so go ahead and put that on there. Oh, Demon, he's in trouble. Fear coming out. Ember Spirit thinking about chasing him down. Nice question in the last second. Ain't going to be enough. That range on Sniper 2.0, aka Lone Druid, is a little bit too much. The Remnant out from Ember Spirit. And the Spirit Bear are going to be more than fine. You see Resolution. There's the hook from Misery off to the side. And now Resolution going to bounce some more auto attacks. However, Mason going to go for the TP. Not going to happen, though. He gets rooted in place, and that will secure the kill most likely. Unless, okay, he jumps at his teammate right there. Never mind. On to Underlord. Now, Underlord on the run, but Underlord could be in some trouble. Dark Rift. Going to try to get it off in time. Do they have the damage to burst him down before? Yes, they do. Down he goes, and that means a kill on Mason. Most likely they get him as well. And there's the 2 for nothing. That took a while, but they finally get it. And then meanwhile, Mumian at the bottom lane, obviously continuing to do his thing.
Doing Broodmother things.
Yeah.
He has decided to go on Blads, which again is going to help him with the push. And he's looked like he's going to be queuing up Echo Saber as well. And I think they're actually going to take. He's going to take this tower actually. Yeah. It doesn't even look like Onyx is going to try and defend with Underlord as well as Lifesteal. They're dead. They can't, and now they're going to be pressuring top tower and they're going to be pressuring bot as well. And DC just slowly sort of strangling Team Onyx there, but there's a... Here we go.
There we go, the Requiem right on top. Not enough damage initially, the second raise hits, but it's still not enough damage. However, the Arcane Bolt ain't going to be enough either. There's a Cold Embrace to save the day. If anything, get that regen and he'll be fine. Meanwhile, the Winter's Curse onto Skywrath, and he just melts. Just Shadow Fiend.
Such a good Wyvern, man. Plays so good this game.
He is playing it well, and they like that. Bot's finished on Ember now.
But yeah, like this Broodmother, this game has had a complete free game. Like hasn't been touched. Like he's just been free farming, kind of similar to last game. And Onyx haven't done anything about it really. And it's not like they've been finding trades elsewhere. Like maybe it's okay if you sort of leave Broodmother to sort of AFK and free farm the whole game, but you have to be getting trades, and Onyx just simply aren't. So DC are again coming out very far ahead because Onyx haven't been able to sort of find the trades. They're really struggling. I think the biggest reason why they're struggling is because they haven't got the blink dagger yet from Slardar. It's like 17 minutes in and he hasn't found his blink dagger yet, which is really causing them a lot of problems because he's their only form of initiation. So they're going to really need to try and prioritize that. But they're going to try and catch the Ember here. Oh, he missed! No!
Nothing more.
What should I say?
That would have sucked.
But good kill though.
Yeah,
he had some kind of pressure.
He had a Remnant ready to go to, but I gotta say that was also very good patience by Dubu. I was watching that kind of take place, and he was letting Underlord do enough damage initially before he just came out and used the silence. He could have used the silence for a good 3 seconds right there, but he was waiting until the appropriate time. So yeah, good patience coming out, and they do secure the kill on Ember Spirit. But again, more time being had by Broodmother. You mentioned the Echo Saber, the Vlads. I was kind of wondering, as actually he's going to BKB next, but I've noticed that, you know, he's kind of one of these heroes, though, where you get a TP against, and ideally you can get out before he kills you. Does he get something like a Basher? Is that worthwhile?
For
Broodmother.
Broodmother, yeah, Basher is definitely something that they can look towards as well. Echo Saber plus Basher is very nice, but it looks like he's going to go BKB, so he's sort of focusing less about killing, but more in terms of sort of team fights when he does have to sort of look to group up, and BKB is definitely a lot more useful than Basher here, but definitely something that he could go for. Perhaps after BKB, and Underlord is coming out with Misery here as well.
He's in trouble. Misery, okay, not going to hook through that, though. He's going to let Broodmother do his thing. Pops the mech, going for the Dark Rift. Ain't going to be enough, though. And yeah, dismember just in case to secure it, so no chance, really.
Well, they did find Wyvern mid, though, with the Slardar, with his recently picked up blink dagger.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They do, and they are going to push middle now.
Just quickly, I need to, when I do, is it voice chat team open mic? Is that what I need to do, yeah?
It is the team one. It's team.
It is, right. Sweet. Right, then we're all good then.
Alright. Middle lane, Broodmother. He's looking to set things up, perhaps. They're just going to farm it out as they will retreat. They do get the tower kill. However, have to fall back pretty quickly. You see Lone Druid, he is level 15 now, so again, that's really the check mark there of now 65 added damage on top of the Maelstrom that he just finished with the Dragonlance to go with it. So he's hitting really hard now, pretty damn fast, and he's got that range. So really Onyx has a fair amount to worry about as far as positives go. Shadow Fiend is farming pretty well.
They have the blink, I think that's the biggest thing, and now they can kind of set up and make a lot of plays with this Lifestealer whenever Infest is off cooldown, and Slardar's sitting right behind him, so they're looking to go right about now. When it's off cooldown, yeah, ping's coming out. Demon's like, jump in me, Mason, come on, man.
gonna push up one more wave and then they're gonna go. But yeah, this allows him to do. And he's actually picked up an early Mithril Hammer. I don't know if this is gonna be a Deso from this slider, but I don't know how he farmed Mithril Hammer actually. He was struggling to find.
Oh,
was that a bug?
Yeah, he gave it. I guess he was holding it.
Ah, right. He was
For,
like, I was like, how's that? How did he get a Mithril Hammer? Like, yeah. He obviously it was Lifestealer's Mithril Hammer, and now
didn't want to show it yet, I guess.
Yeah.
Being sneaky with it.
gonna
Okay, here's a jump. Resolution. That's a target. Ooh, they just don't see him though. They didn't really have the best vision of him, and ain't gonna go. I thought for sure the way he was sprinting in right there, that was gonna be a jump, but they can't capitalize. Lone Druid just walks away, and instead Onyx will have to rotate back on their side. They've been seen, by the way, and yeah, they're going to be collapsed on. Wee catches Skywrath in the background. Out comes the Mystic Flare, though. He's going to be hooked back, trying to keep alive as well as a bunch of skirts going to be used on top of that. And now we will walk away. So very good save from the team support right there. Moomy in the front lines, meanwhile, as they picked off Skywrath. He's kind of zoning out the rest. Good teamwork from DC.
Again, Saxon, like he's seeming to be my MVP honestly with these curses, with these cold embraces, just solid, everything really good. But I think what Onyx needs to do actually is that I think this Broodmother is kind of creeping in to be actually talking to him. They might try and catch this SF.
They have vision protection, of course they do. In comes, look at that. He sets up the angle for the hook too. That was well played by Moomianer even on top of that.
Yeah, I think Onyx needs to try and kill this Broodmother. He's like level 19 now. He's hasn't really died once this whole game. I think there's kind of a big money pot on this Broodmother. I think they need to try and cash it in as soon as possible. They're trying to find trades elsewhere, but I think with Broodmother kind of playing quite aggressively and quite greedy in the enemy jungle, that's the place to do. And Radiant scan, but obviously they scan actually on top of Roshan, so not going to be spotted. But they know what's up. I don't think they can contest it either, even if they did know. So.
Sorry, I apologize right here. I'm having some issues right here, so I'm just trying to fix them real quickly. Not sure exactly what just happened.
We have a Lifestealer with Desolator now. He looks like he's going to be building like an Echo Saber, but with Aegis being picked up by Lone Druid now, it looks like DC are willing to go high ground, and with like a Lone Druid with crazy range, obviously with his Dragon Lance, they should be able to siege very easily without much kind of rebuttal. Yeah, Wyvern might spot out this Lifestealer. Yeah, he puts the ward down then.
Okay, should be good now. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what exactly happened right there, but should be back. Luckily, not missing any action. Well, we had that hiccup there, so. 23 minutes in, though. Here comes a top secondary tower push. Again, you see the split push bottom lane from Wee coming out. But, of course, he can join the party ASAP if he needs to. They're going to try to jump at the bottom lane, but they lose their secondary in the meantime. And now the push even going to continue to go further here in favor of DC as they're going to start sieging into the base. But, yeah, he's already made his way out, actually, on the Ember Spirit, and now he's pushing out the middle lane. So the split push really has come online after DC. This is what I was worried about for Onyx in the sense that DC, now they have Lone Druid, Ember Spirit, and Broodmother all have pretty damn good farm. And they could literally just push lanes by themselves now.
I like Moon's decision as well. He's actually sticking with the team. He's got BKB, so he can actually be a threat in these team fights. Normally we see Broodmothers kind of trying to do their own thing and play their own kind of game, but Moon's deciding that they can win the team fight as 5, so there's no need for him to sort of split push and not help his team. So I like the decision here from Moon. And they take down the tower, and Rax are going to be next.
Go. Range Rax taking some good damage right here from the Lone Druid, just sitting from a distance. You got the Spirit Bear being somewhat of a tank. Demon trying to kill it at least, but nope, the Gold Embrace will save it. I'm going to say if you want to kill it, you really got to commit to this. So it's going to be fine. And as a team, DC will somewhat play it safe right now, start falling back. As you have Broodmother, BKB, that 10-second BKB ready to go. And looking for the appropriate opening. So neither team is overcommitting right here, but obviously the range Rax being just about dead. Favoring DC quite a bit again. Now you have Wee pushing out the bottom lane, and again he's going to be able to join. There we go. Right back. So really, I mean, what does Onyx do here? Like they just need to find the jump, but
I think they have to jump on the Wyvern. Wyvern is the key target. I think if they can catch him, perhaps with smoke.
Oh, they're going to get the bear. They're going to try and pick over the bear.
Not with Qualifier.
Oh, jeez, that Winter's Curse on a demon.
That's why they need to catch the Wyvern, otherwise that's going to happen every single time. With Slider dead, they did not need to worry about anything. They can just go high ground now for the Rax.
Oh, geez. Now the melee Rax is vulnerable, and yeah, really can they stop this without their big initiation? As mentioned, the hook onto Underlord. He gets pulled back, and he's in trouble. Volva going to be killed. Despite that mech use right there, ain't enough to keep him alive. And now they're going to go right for the melee Rax yet again and truly finish it off. Or maybe not. DC's like, we could just dive them at this point. We're feeling pretty good. And stable hunger up here for the Broodmother. As a buyback happens from Underlord. So all 5 are back up, and again, they got the Rax, so all the webs being down, and DC going to now rotate to the middle lane. As Weeport's back, but he's going to be joining them with the Remnant here. Anyways, and yeah, look at the sustain too. With the cold embrace, able to heal people up throughout these fights. I mean, they just can't push them back. It's just really, it feels so unfortunate for Onyx here.
I think they need to do some kind of crazy smoke play and go attack around the back, because like with Lone Droid there up on the front, with Broodmother with BKB up on the front, they're not going to be able to catch the Wyvern without sort of being stopped by the sort of the frontliners. They need to smoke and get on the background. And I think Wyvern is the key target, particularly with these Cold Embrace Shades. Like if they go on anyone else, Wyvern's going to save him. Plus, then they're going to turn it with Witness Curse, so he has to be the key target here. But they're not smoking up, and they're going to get spotted here.
There we go. Dump onto Ember. Unfortunately, the stun just a little bit too late, though. Obviously, Remnant's out pretty quickly. Gonna be fine. Demon's still chasing. He wants to make something happen. Flea also there as well. Sentry put down, though, and now Misery missing the hook. Falling back, but they destroy that ward ASAP. Misery will just keep running. Glimmer K popped right there. Meanwhile, taking some attack damage himself. They do pick off Winter Wyvern. He's down for 45 seconds. No buyback either. The Remnant over the ledge. The hook actually hits Lifestealer. He's trying to hook his teammate, I'm pretty sure. Just save him, if anything, but Moomiander in the flank, going after the Underlord. Does he have enough damage? Yes, they do. Resolution sitting from the uphill, of course, pounding in the auto attacks. They got Shadow Fiend earlier, and that's the GG well played. Ultra kill for Resolution throughout all of it to truly finish it off. I mean, DC, though, they just came online with a split push, and it couldn't be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that last fight there, they killed the Wyvern, which they needed to do, but at the end of the day, like, they're still so far behind that, you know, that Lone Droid was doing loads of damage, so was the Broodmother. They had really, like, they had a tri-core there from DC, all had loads of farm, which just shouldn't be the case, really, and I think it goes back to kind of similar to what happened in Game 1, and then Game 2 was definitely a little bit more closer, but, yeah, the kind of, the weaknesses and vulnerabilities from Team Onyx were still there. They wasn't able to sort of really shut down any of the cores from DC. Broodmother didn't even die the whole game and wasn't threatened, and that's why he was, you know, second net worth, you know, even above the Ember, so... Unfortunately, Onyx go down and lose the second game as well.
You know, kind of a fun stat. I mean, depends on who's hearing it, I guess. But Mason went 2-1-2 between the 2 games because he actually went 0-0-0 the first game. So, hey, he finished positive for his team. No. Yeah, Digital Chaos is clearly the better team here as far as this matchup. That's what we really kind of expected, but, you know, it's always fun to see how it plays out and see if at least Onyx can maybe take a game, but DC wasn't having any of that. They took care of business here, and even behind a pretty fun strat on top of that, again, running with the Broodmother this game. They went the Troll Warlord the first game, so part of me wants to say it's almost like they were having fun with it in a sense, but obviously both of those heroes did very well for those pickups, so they had their place in the game at the same time, so... DC looking good, and again, they're the favorites. But right now, there's other teams that are competing pretty well. You got Complexity doing pretty well. Obviously, split with DC yesterday, and we're going to be watching a lot of Complexity today. Here, in fact, speaking of that, the next 2 matches do involve Complexity. As let me pull up the schedule right here for you guys.
Trash.
Actually works.
Trash.
There we go. We got Doo-Wop versus Complexity coming up next, and then Complexity versus Team Freedom to finish it off. So, going to be Cole versus a couple of other teams here. What's up?
Swindle Melons, guys. Let's go. I'm ready.
Melons here. We got Z-Freak. And then there's the others. No. No, obviously.
Then the other guys.
Then those other guys. Whatever. No, but they're definitely a good team. And, again, this is going to be a big day for them because even one loss in the 2 matches there could really hurt their chances as far as claiming that top spot. And, again, only one of these 8 teams advance on to the main event. So I'm pulling up the standings right here. This is not updated with the match that we just had, but it gives you an idea of how things are looking so far. So, but with all of that said, guys, we have an hour until the next match is set to start. So it's going to be a bit of a break right here. So hopefully you guys can find something to do. I'm sure you can. play.
The CS:GO major finished, guys. We've got nothing else to do.
Go ahead and play a couple rounds of Dark Moon. Oh, I just queued up on accident. Wow, didn't want to do that.
I mean,
go ahead and play some Dark Moon or whatever.
Please.
Anyways, guys, but we'll be back with obviously Complexity versus Doo-Wop, and then again Freedom versus Complexity happening later on. Should be another fun couple of matches to come. But again, that all starts in about an hour from now. What is 6:30 p.m. Eastern, or just after midnight, 30 Central European time for you guys over there. So. With that said, we're going to be taking the break here, so enjoy your break, and we will see you then in just about an hour, guys. Until then, guys, enjoy your break.